Gerald, if you want to show your stuff there that you had your coil from last week.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, the floor is yours.
Loud and clear, brother.
Floor is mine. I'm going to be rich. Just kidding. Okay, so what I have here is the coil you seen last week, except I now have 12 pickup coils on the outside, and each one of them has a red LED, but not all of them, the LEDs, not all of them are hooked up to the DC. Some of them are hooked up to the AC side. There's 3 here. One's hooked up to the AC side, one's hooked up to the DC side. Technically, they all shouldn't light, but let's see, right? So what I got going in here is 12 volts through the primary. It's a 2.5 volt or 2.5 amp, 12 volt wall plug. This is the watt meter. The frequency is 33,000 hertz square wave with, let's see, the duty cycle is 6%. So I'm going to just turn it on to show you that I'm pushing the charge outside of the coil itself, and I'm going to pick it up with all these coils here. And I don't know if you can see that because I'm not sure if my camera can pick it up. Can you see all the lights on?
Sorry.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, we can see them.
And this here is an LED cube that I've got partially on, and that's running on the back EMF. But if you look at the wattage, I'm using 0.01 of an amp to run all those LEDs. And this here, this one panel takes 94 volts to light and 1 amp. But yet I'm lighting that, half of that, all these. Oh, and this here takes 3.5 volts to light. Not a big deal. But let's put this in and turn it on. Of course, the wire fell off.
Oh, there it goes.
So it's just another pickup coil from the center, but as I put that in, you would think that I would draw more, but it hasn't changed. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not going to get too in depth as to how this is working. I'm doing a presentation on APEC, and I will get way in depth as to how it works, what I've done, and the type of thing it takes, I believe, to get a whole lot more power out than this. When I'm showing you now, it's a pittance. I will be turning on a 900 watt heating element, as well as levitating a magnet in the center here stably.
That'd be cool.
At APEC. So this is just a little bit of me. I just wanted to show you that I'm pushing charge outside of the coil, and in fact, I can push it right to the edge of my room, 10 feet, 15 feet, give or take. But it's something that we'll get into in depth in the future. So thanks for your time, guys. This is me.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think you're creating almost like a plasma field. You're exciting all the electrons in the space in the room because you're running at such a high frequency. Where like a plasma ball, it's using plasma to create that exciting of the electrons or the energy in the free space around the device. So I think you're doing the same thing, but just in a different method.
Ionizing the air and then using the geometry to implode at a micro level, right?
And it's not wired conventionally. Like I said before, I'm running a negative bias circuit. I'm running a NPN in order to do this. The other, I've tried a PNP. It doesn't seem to work quite the same way. So maybe I guess I could put it like this. There's a bunch of instabilities that electrical engineers purposefully go out of their way to cancel out in circuits and in devices. Those instabilities are what I've used to make this work. And like I said, I'll get into, the depths of it, like the dichotron instability, the proximity effect, parasitic capacitance. It all comes into play. This wouldn't work with just one thing. It needs them all. There's 7 different instabilities that go into making this work. So just a short little,
Have you experimented?
tidbit. It's me, I guess you'd say.
Have you experimented
Thanks,
on putting a different organic object in the field, the frequency field, and see if they get, like, for example, if you put a plant, would it grow faster in that energy field?
Yes, it does.
It's interesting because Daniel and Erica Nunez had the same effect with their magnetic experiments.
Right, where they were actually to the point of growing celery in the dark and it like sprouting always to the center of the coils, even when they were like feet away from it.
Yeah,
well, I've said it in previous lives. This will actually, when you ground it out and the ground is wound within the soil of the plant, you're going to increase your output of that plant by double and cut its time in half to maybe 1/3 of its original time of growth. I've seen it. I've done it many times. I've got notes on it. It's just something that I need to prove on video. The problem is it takes a long time because you're looking over a month of growth period rather than, 3 months. You're still looking at a month, but it's
4 times as many grow cycles in a year. Like that's 4 times as much food for everyone. No one needs to starve with this technology.
Basically, and this isn't the only one that's out there that can do this. There's many different devices out there that can do that very same fact. This just happens to be one of them. Is it a big boast? Sure it is, but I can prove it, and I will in the future. I just have to figure out how to do it on film or on camera over that period of time. Maybe
But just a heads up that there's already videos out there with magnets and plants that are fast forward. So just
they're using the South Pole field in order to grow food exponentially. And that's funny you say that because I can split the field where this is the south and the bottom is the north, or I can flip a switch and the bottom would be south and the top is north. It really doesn't make a difference. This coil's kind of there's a lot of anomalies that I'd like to go over with somebody who's serious about pulling it apart and seeing how it all works when it's said and done.
Right, because I've watched your little demo. Your videos are very short, but they're showing extremely anomalous effects. Just proof of demos for those that understand what's on your channel and what you've been doing. And absolutely, Gerald, we need to do Year of the Coil, experimenting on these different effects because it's also
Bernie. It's funny you bring that up.
Most practical applications, I believe.
Well, it's a means to an end. All those little tidbits that you see on my channel are all leading up to the APEC presentation where I'll unveil a lot of the different anomalies and things that I've seen this do. And then maybe we can get some peer review going on and take it from there. So, yeah.
Will you maybe throw what?
And while you guys got me on the limelight, while you got me on the limelight, I got to say, Nathan, amazing work. I've followed everything you've done, watched every video. Dude, you're almost there. I'm telling you. Me and you should talk about something off screen that I think might help you, but that's a whole other story. Amazing work. Just had to say that.
That'd be really cool. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to get off screen here. Thanks for your time, guys.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you for your presentation.